Hello there folks, I'm the Lone Adventurer. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel. This is part 2 of my playthrough of Dangerous Space, which is a roll and write science fiction exploration adventure type game. If you want to see part 1 of my playthrough, there'll be a link up in the corner of the screen right about now and in the description below. If you are not yet a subscriber to my channel, do consider subscribing. I play lots of solo games, and if you like the look of this one, chances are you'll find more to enjoy in other games that I choose to bring to the channel. Now, this is our adventurer, Donzi. Donzi's doing okay. In this game you get to upgrade one of your gear items immediately, and we upgraded the grav boots to make us a little bit more manoeuvrable. And when we reached our first checkpoint, we also upgraded our proton launcher to be able to shoot from further away. We have taken 2 points of damage, but we have collected 2 health vials, or whatever they're called, which has opened up some additional health, so we've got a fair amount of health. When you go into these more dangerous rooms, that can change pretty quick, so I don't want to count my space chickens before they're hatched. So what's the situation here? Well, we've reached the first checkpoint. We've still got a little bit of wiggle room in this first room, but pretty soon I'm going to need to start thinking about where I'm going to go next. And it's either going to be down into the workshop and quarters, or over here into the loading bay. And I did say in the last video that the approach I've taken before is to come at the loading bay from this direction and this direction at the same time to make it easier to take out that enemy. But we do have another option, which is there's a grenade here, and we can use that grenade on that clever pirate in order to do the point of damage that ordinarily would require us to come round here and come at them from the other direction. So that's an option. We don't have to do that two-pronged approach that I was talking about previously. We're just on the verge here of entering that clever pirate's dangerous spaces. And if we get into there, he activates and starts potentially doing us damage. So the second we do that, we need to really race in there and go in all guns blazing. So those are my options really, either to race in there all guns blazing or to come down here, at which point I'll activate this Vigilant Hunter. Now there's only one of them, but they do 2 points of damage. Both the workshop quarters and the loading bay, when we go into those areas, we increase the number of evil dice to 2. So you always look at the number of evil dice listed for the area that you've gone into that has the largest number of dice listed, and that's so you don't keep adding them on. When we go in here, we don't add an additional 2, we go from 1 up to 2. So I guess I'll just roll the dice and then we'll see what happens. Remember, we're up to 2 good dice now, which is nice because we reached that checkpoint with a sequential path. 1, 2 and a 3. That does sound pretty good. So maybe we will go down here. So thinking ahead to this Vigilant Hunter here, they attack on a 4+, they do a react damage on a 5+, and they do 2 damage. They've got a defense of 4, so higher defense than the clever pirate. 3 health points, so 3 pips that we need to do on this side, and this side. And they're shielded, which means they cannot be attacked with an odd number, and they've got to be attacked on a 4+, so really a 4 or a 6 are your options. And if the attack trigger was a 6, take 1 point of damage. Okay, so if we roll a 6 on when we trigger them, no, at the start of the round, we only take 1 point of damage if it's a 6, but 2 points of damage if it's a 4 or a 5. We'll talk about that when we get to it. It seems a little bit convoluted, but yeah. Now, the reason why I'm waffling on about that is because I'm currently making the decision about whether I'm going to go down into there or do the mad rush over to there. Previously, I've gone down into here, so I think I will try that approach again. Now, remember, we are going to try and carry on this sequential path, because we've got a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now we still haven't entered another area, so we're still nice and relaxed here. We can carry on rolling, having not activated any additional threats. Bit higher this time, a 3, a 4 and a 5. So we can put the 3 there, and maybe we're just going to go for it. We're going to bite the bullet here. The first space we're going to mark in this area here, we can go diagonally. And the reason why we can is because we've got that upgrade to our boots, our grav boots. And the reason why it's beneficial in this situation is it gets us to the enemy quicker, but also it leaves us clear to continue a sequential path down here that is potentially got a highest value of 3 rather than committing to have a highest value of 4, because that means it takes more time. We have to cross off more on the time tracker. So we're going to go 4 over here. The second we do that, we activate that Vigilant Hunter. That Vigilant Hunter now might damage us. So we've used the 3, we've used the 4, we've got 5 left. And I guess we'll use the 5 to move here. And when we do that, we need to roll to see whether the Vigilant Hunter reacts to us entering their dangerous space. 2, that's no reaction, that's good. They react on a 5+, and we can go into another round. Now, and the other thing is, because we've moved into the workshop quarters, we're getting another evil dice. So we're now rolling 4 dice, and if either of those evil dice are a 4, the Vigilant Hunter attacks us. And obviously that's happened. And we've got some 1s. And that's worth thinking about, because I've got my armour that I usually forget about, and I can use that to reduce the damage we receive. Because the Vigilant Hunter, if you roll a 4 or more, there's 2 points of damage, which is a bit painful. I'm not really down with that. So I can sacrifice one of my other dice to reduce the damage that I get by 1, meaning we just get 1 damage. Now we need to hit that Vigilant Hunter, and the Vigilant Hunter is a defense of 4, so we need to use a dice of 4 or more in value. Oh, and we can't use odd numbers. That's a disaster. We've got nothing that can increase or decrease the value of dice. Vigilant Hunter can only be attacked with a 4 and a 6 because it has to be on a 4+, and it has to be an odd number. Cannot be an odd number, rather, so it can't be a 5. So we can't use our 5. Our 1 and our 3 are too low. So unfortunately, when we're not in a position to attack the Vigilant Hunter, what we could do is at least go down here and then use the, I guess, well, the 1 or the 3. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use the 3. So we've used the 5, we've used the 3. Now, because we've entered the dangerous space, we need to roll to see if the Vigilant Hunter reacts. Oh, and the Vigilant Hunter does. Vigilant Hunter reacts on a 5+. Now that's only 1 point of damage when an enemy does a reaction, not the standard 2 points of damage. And I've got a 1 left. And I'm going to put the 1 here, because that means that when I do choose to pelt it into the loading bay, if we last that long, I can move diagonally into that space and be just a little bit closer to attacking that enemy in my race to get there. Right, new round. Are we alright? Are we alright? We're not alright, because on a 4+, the Vigilant Hunter reacts. That's super annoying, but I can see at least that we're going to be able to do some damage this turn. I'll do the same thing again. We'll sacrifice the 1 in order to reduce the damage we're receiving by 1. So health-wise, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 health left. We have got another health vial in this location, so theoretically I could collect that to get some more health. That's probably going to be essential in order to successfully complete this mission. We can use one of our 4s to hit the Vigilant Hunter from this direction. We can use our other 4 to hit the Vigilant Hunter from this direction. And then we've got a 2 left. So I could either continue this path here, planning ahead a little bit, or we could put it down there and be ready to straight away hit the Vigilant Hunter. I think I'll do that. Now that does mean we're going to have to roll this again, hopefully not triggering the Vigilant Hunter. No, we haven't. That's good. So he does not react and attack us. Now notice we have put a number next to this checkpoint, but because this is a broken path, we have not done a path to the checkpoint from the entrance or a previous checkpoint. That doesn't count as resolving that checkpoint. I think that's the deal. Okay, everything's okay. All good. So we have kind of good, kind of not good. Because it would be nice to have a 4, wouldn't it? If we had a 4, we could finish off this threat. But we haven't got a 4, and we're not going to be able to do it. That is a real shame. So I guess we will just do some development of paths. We'll carry this path on down here. We're getting quite close to getting that first data bit. Now that means ideally I'm going to put a 3 here, because if I put a 3 on both sides of this health file, oh, that's not a health file. The health file's down there. That's something else. Let me just find out what that one is. Alright, this one with an exclamation mark on is an aggression booster. It can be used to increase a die value by 2. So that would definitely be handy in attacking. So I've got 2 1s. Where am I going to use those 2 1s? Well, I don't want to go into there yet because I don't want to activate him. The 1s are not going to allow me to continue the path along this route here, which is either going to have to continue from 5s or continue from this 3. It could go from this checkpoint here, going 2, 3, 3, and then up that way. Either way, I don't really want 1s there. I could jump all the way down here because I've got diagonal movement up to 2, so I could go from here to here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go down there and then over here. And then that moves me towards being in a position to get that health if I get the dice that will help me do that. Oof. Okay, so we've got a 6 on an evil dice, unfortunately. Luckily, I've got a 1 as well, so I can use the 1 to reduce the damage I'm receiving to 1. Then, thank goodness, we can use the 6 to finally finish off that enemy. And then we've got no active enemies in the ship, and we can chill out a little bit. We've got a 3 and a 4 to use. So I can use the 3 here, and that completes a sequential path from this checkpoint all the way to this checkpoint. Now at this point we have to tick off the time that we've used. Now by some miracle the highest number I've used there is a 3. So we are crossing off 3 time, means that we've used 6 time here out of a total potential time of 28. And we get to upgrade something. So the leech is quite handy. The risk taker, that could be interesting. This is a skill. When you mark a dangerous space, you may add 1 to an unused die. That could make all the difference. Or we could upgrade our proton launcher, or we could increase our maneuverability, both of which would definitely be handy. I think we're going to be boring and go for the maneuverability. So we can now move left, right, up and down up to 3 spaces away, which could definitely be handy. Now we've still got a 4 to use. I don't really want to use it there because we want a 3 there and a 3 there to get that data bit. Or we could put a 1 there, which would get us the data bit but wouldn't get us the aggression booster. So really I don't want to put the 4 in any of those places. Now probably I could accept a sequential route that goes up this way here, which does mean it would use up 5 time, but I'm feeling quite comfortable with time at the moment. The other option would be to try and do a route this way, but I've got a 4, so let's use it. And going from this checkpoint here, we've now got a nice route all the way to here, and we're almost to the next checkpoint, which would be quite sweet. This here is a corridor into the engineering area. Obviously when we go beyond that we'll be triggering another enemy. But for the moment there are no enemies active. Nothing to worry about. What have we got? Well, we've got 2 4s, so it is tempting to get that data bit. Or we could go that way. Maybe that'd be because I'm still holding out hope for a 3 and a 3. I mean, it's not likely though, is it? Maybe I should just give up on that one. Or I could go down here, do the 4 and the 4. Do you know what? I'm going to do that. We'll use the 4 and the 4 here, which gets us the health. And that gives us an extra 4 points of health. That's pretty awesome. Essential, I would say. And now we've got a 2 and a 6. What do I want to do? I also need to get down to get this key card. Pass key is what they call it in the rules, which will allow us to open up this door here, and I can do my whole come at this area from 2 different routes plan. So where does that leave me? It leaves me wanting to get down to that thing. So if I put the 6 there, then we could potentially put another 6 there, and then the 2 we could put it up here, and then that's sort of planning ahead to the route we will need over here to the final exit. Still no enemies active. Got a couple more 4s and a couple of 1s. That's perfect, isn't it? Because we can put a 1 there. Oh, it's not totally perfect because it's actually not perfect at all. But at least I can put a 1 there. Yes, I'm losing out on the aggression booster, which is a shame. But the 1 and the 1 there means that we are now, so long as we can put a 4 there. So we've used a 1, we've used a 4. That 4 there continues that sequential path all the way to next to the data bit, which means that we have collected the first data bit that we need for our mission, the retrieve the data mission. So all we need to do now is get this one here and then get to the exit. My understanding is you don't need to kill all the enemies, so you can theoretically do a mad dash, although it can't be that mad a dash because you've still got to make a sequential path to the exit, which was what tripped me up in the game where I came quite close. I got to here, but then I got killed by these 2 enemies. There's 2 vigilant hunters in the last room, and you have to hit them both 3 times, and theoretically they can be doing you 4 points of damage each round. And it adds an additional evil die. So that last room is brutal. Right, so we've got a 1 and a 4 left. What are we doing with those things? We could put the 1 there to carry on that sequence. And then the 4, I'll tell you what, I could put the 4 there, getting us closer to that room there. And we still haven't activated any enemies. Alright, so here we go. Got quite a range of numbers there, and they're all a bit big. So the 4 can go there. Remember, that's the corridor between the 2 areas. So going into the corridor does not activate that enemy. It's only when we move past that, which we might be doing now. It might be time. But that 6 we can use here. Remember, we can move diagonally. So we've gone there to there to there. And that allows us to collect that pass key. So we now have a pass key that can get us through this locked area here. And then we've got a 5 and a 1. So is it time to go into this room? I don't think it is, because that 1 we can use here to carry on our sequential path to the exit, which means I've just got a 5. I don't really want to go into there with a 5. Or maybe I could. Maybe it's time. Because I can move diagonally too, so I could go 1, 2, straight into his dangerous space and be ready in the next round to attack him. Or I could do that with the 1 and attack him straight away. Maybe I should do that. I'm not going to go up there with the 1. I'm going to use the 1 to move immediately down here into the dangerous space of the Clever Pirate. Because I've moved into his area, the Clever Pirate activates. Clever Pirate then has a chance to react and will do me a point of damage on 4 plus 6, obviously, point of damage. And then I've got a 5, and I can use the 5 immediately to hit the pirate. Remember, I can hit at a range of 2, so I'm 2 away, and because of my upgrade, that means I can hit them. I can hit them at a range of 2, and that's all the dice used. So notice we have moved into an area with only 1 evil die, but you use the number of evil die equal to the area with the most evil die that you've already moved through. So we're sticking with 2. Oh, cool. So the evil pirate has not hit us, has not attacked us. Now I can do a diagonal move from here up to here with a 2. That has put me in a dangerous space. So I need to roll for reaction, and I rolled a 5. That means that the pirate is doing me a point of damage. I'm taking quite a lot of damage. It feels like I'm taking a lot of damage. But now I'm there, I can use the 6 to attack the pirate, taking the pirate down. And once again, we've got no enemies to worry about for a little while. So I think what we will do is we will hit this checkpoint. We will get our way through so that we're ready to go into the loading bay, and then we'll call it quits on this video, and we'll leave for a third part, clearing the loading bay and the mad dash to the command room where there is an exit. Now I've got a 2 and a 3, which is quite good actually, because I can use the 3 there. That completes a sequential path to the checkpoint. From this checkpoint, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3. That checkpoint does not give me a new dice. I do have to mark time equal to the highest number I've used, which is 5. So I've used a total of 10, 11 time so far. And we get an upgrade. And I think maybe it's time to go for the risk taker. So when we mark a dangerous space, we may add 1 to an unused die. Could be very useful. So that was the 3 we just used, which leaves us with a 2. Now I'm tempted to put the 2 there, which does block this route, but hopefully I can maneuver that route in such a way that it will go through the 2. And that gives me this booster, which is an agility booster, used to ignore 1 marked space in your sequential path when calculating time at a checkpoint. So I guess that just allows you to reduce the amount of time that you are counting. So we've got a 2, a 3 and 2 5s. No enemies to worry about at the moment. Alright, so let's work on this path a little bit. We need a 2 there, because really what I'm trying to do now is get from this checkpoint to this checkpoint here, which would allow me to do another upgrade. So that's that 2 used. Then we can use the 3 here, going quite nicely. And then we've got 2 5s. What am I going to do with 2 5s? I don't rightly know. I can't think of anything useful to do with them. I might just chuck them away. Let's put the 5s there. So they don't really do anything there. Those look good. So we've got a 2, a 3 and 2 4s. That I think is good news, because we can go 2, 2. Oh, and that allows me to collect that thing. That was, I didn't even think about that. So we've got ourselves that agility booster. That could be handy. So we just used the 2. Did I put 2 twice? I think I just put 2 twice. And then we can use a 3 there, and then the 4 and the 4. So we are ready to have the siege. It's not a siege, is it? The attack on the loading bay, and hopefully take out those clever pirates quite quickly. So I can come at this clever pirate from both sides, and then this clever pirate, hopefully I can hit it and then maybe use the grenade, although maybe it would be a good idea to keep the grenade if at all possible. We will see. So we are currently blocked by a locked door, but we have the pass key that we collected, which means we can put a number in there as you put a number anywhere as normal, but that uses the pass key. It's a one-time use. So at the start of the next video, we can go into there and hopefully win the game. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how Donzi does as we continue our playthrough of Dangerous Space. Hope you enjoyed that one, folks. See you in the next video. Bye for now.